over in Washington, D.C. with the Voice of America Jazz Hour. Jazz is made of many elements which came to this country from other cultures as people of other countries came to America. Jazz is many different ways of performing many different musics. Most recently, modern rock, folk music, and electronic music. We see or hear this new fusion in the music of the Mahavishnu Orchestra, Weather Report, Chick Corea and Return to Forever, the Herbie Hancock Group, and the group led by Mychael Urbaniak of Poland. Mychael Urbaniak, Poland. Mychael Urbaniak, Poland. Mychael Urbaniak, Poland.
It's not too many people who recorded my songs, you know, or who did. Oh, there's a lot of people who sampled, you know.
Right.
A lot of sampling started with Tribe Called Quest in '90s and then went on, you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But then, you know, I see your advertising on Facebook that you premiering my song. I was looking forward, you know, because didn't and didn't happen very often, you know. Somebody recorded my music, although I have few hundred songs, you know. I've had about 70 albums. Can you believe this? I
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
can't believe it.
So
Yeah.
why did you pick exactly that song? We're gonna play it later anyway, but what was the like inspiration behind?
How did you find basically the song and
Oh, you asking me? I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. Can you ask that again?
Yeah, sure. So Michal, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you find the song and where, well, you know, and
Oh, okay. Well, I would say the reason why I know about you
yeah,
is because of my dad. My dad is the reason why I got into jazz fusion music and why I play it. And years ago, I was searching for your music because one of the albums I known that my dad put me on to was Fusion 3.
uh-huh,
And so when I came across Atma, if I'm pronouncing it right,
yeah,
and I heard the song Butterfly, it really moved me. Plus, I heard Ursula's Dudzak version from her release too. And I just noticed that the melody was different, and also the way you play it on the Atma release. I was learning it, you know, left hand, trying to figure out what was going on the left hand, and while going, and it's like it's this thing, and you know, my hands is not really large, so I had to really stretch, you know, to really kind of get
me
into
too.
it. And then one day, like a few years ago, sometimes my brain works like a DJ. Like I mix music together. So I was remembering how your song Stretch off of Fusion 3 went, you know, the 9/8 groove, and I heard that with Butterfly put together. And then the rest is just kind of just unfolded along the way. And it took about I'll say about a week and a half to record it, you know, with everything and the arranging and the placements, because it's all about, you know, just trying to feel it out and adding a new perspective to it. But that's pretty much like what made me record, because I was really moved by it, and it's a favorite, you know. I love it. So, you know, I love your music, you know, your
Honored,
music.
man, you've made such an incredible version that I was really moved because it's really intricate, original, different, and it is the song.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Update.
Yes. Hmm.
So how about if we hear it then? Because
Okay.
we have
Uh,
it ready. Oh, what do you
can
think?
we? There is something I want to play.
Before the butterfly.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, I know which one.
Yeah.
So let's do the screen share.
Something you send, and there is a piece of butterfly in it as well. So let's go and hear this one.
But before you play it, yeah, that's brilliant.
Yes.
Excellent. We're getting so much better.
Yeah. And now.
Ooh.
So we're getting to know you.
Oh yeah.
So you know what? I'm blown away because it doesn't sound like West Coast, because West Coast usually is a cool, chill, and so on, and you're burning like the East Coast, far East Coast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. That's because I'm born and raised in the East Coast in Washington D.C. And the music scene is like any artist from anywhere else comes to Washington D.C. We as a people, we like really go out our way to support the musicians. We that's one thing for sure. We really appreciate music where we from.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Hmm.
So seeing this piece of video, there came questions right away from me
Okay.
about your hip hop generation and models say. I have a special view on this too, but I like to ask you hip hop, okay, jazz, hip hop, and new music, and what are your views on all this? What is today's music?
Oh, compared to then versus now.
Yeah, I mean now your generation's music, your fusion, because you know
Uh,
the fusion to the max. You know, it's burning. It's got so much in it. It's incredible.
thanks. Well, I think right now, just to be brief with it, there's various things happening, and I just think what's going on is that, hmm, it's in simplest terms, I'm kind of just staying in the lane of creating, um, for what I know and what I've learned over the years, from like legends and masters like yourself, to really just help carry on, the light of music and all that. And I just think with the others, everybody's kind of doing their thing. Like as far as one artist by the name of Thundercat, which is I mean, he's basically from the West Coast, and he's got this, kind of like space thing, kind of progressive R&B kind of thing happening with the jazz and hip hop, little touches from like producers like Flying Lotus and things of that nature. So I just think our generation, what we're doing is we're just trying to, create a new form nucleus of music that is to come,
And
and
what
and yeah, and mixing the before with the new.
and what about hip hop and its influence on the music?
Well, as far as hip hop goes nowadays, is much different than what it was before in the '90s. As far as like the sampling, like a lot of the producers, they would go out, you know, crate digging, as they put it, and just find these incredible gems of music and mix it together. Nowadays, we don't really do much of that. We just kind of go by, checking out loops and different samples created. And the hip hop rap is a little different because right now what's popular and what's going on is called like trap, drill beats, things of that nature. And the substance is a bit more simplistic than what it was in the '90s, and also the delivery and context of what folks is rapping about is different too. Oh, Tupac, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, straight up '90s right there. That's you know, great great experiences of, heydays of that, I would say, because I also like Tupac as well. I grew up on all that stuff. Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Tribe Called Quest, Daz Effects. I mean, most of the
Fuji,
hip hop cats. Yeah.
Fuji's, Fuji's,
Huh? I'm
Fuji's.
sorry. Oh, Fuji's, yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah, Fuji's, and they just celebrated their 25th release of the Score album, and yeah, it's a trip, cause to think how long
Yeah, I had to know Fuji's very well. We had the same apartment with studios.
hmm
One here, Fuji's, and
nice.
like 9 studios in a semi basement, and they had offices in like a ground floor, and I had apartment up there and studio downstairs.
Nice.
43rd Street in New York.
Oh, wow, nice.
Hell's Kitchen,
It was good.
9th Avenue and 43rd.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
So, Michał, sorry, I'm gonna differentiate between, so Michał Urbaniak and Mychael Pollard. That will be probably easier not to confuse everyone. So, Michał, shall we check out the butterfly then?
No,
What do
Butterfly was included right here, so we've heard it. I don't think we need to play it again. I
Right.
think we can ask Michael maybe to do something about your instrument, your studio, and
Oh,
also like you said, you're from Washington and few bands. Actually, you work with quite a few musicians. Who are the musicians we might know more? Like you worked with bands, etc.
okay. Well, one of the bands that I am working with right now, well, I was working with last year, is the Grammy nominated band called the Jets.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they had hits in the 80s and 90s, songs like Crush on You, Make It Real, Rock It To You. And so another wonderful thing is we have a residency out here in Las Vegas, which is at Planet Hollywood. And they're looking into getting back doing that sometime like April and May.
So soon? Oh,
Yeah.
pandemia? No? No more pandemia by that time?
Well, I really don't know. To be honest with you, I guess it's kind of like, everything's on standby right now. And another thing, I do want to say, before I change, is I wanted to, give a shout out to, the Jets as well, and also rest in peace to their dad that recently just made his transition, Michele Wolfgram, which is the founder and the one that got the band started, the Jets, along with the mother Baki Wolfgram. So yeah, so right now they're gonna have the funeral services in like a couple of days. Yeah, so yep. So yeah, that's who I'm working with right now, the Jets. They're a wonderful band, a wonderful family, wonderful experience. Yes.
Yeah, good bands turn out to be like good family, and then it's the best for the music, of course.
Oh yeah, because it's so much with dealing with family and people, because there's so many vibrations that we have to like vibe out to, and when it's good, it's good. A lot of great things come out, and when everybody is on the one.
Uh, so you up to making next album soon? Yeah,
Abs-
yeah.
oh, absolutely. I got plenty of material. I'm working on so many material right now, for like other artists and things like that. As I'm, going back and forth from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, because you can't really be there actually with them, but sometimes you can go, stationary places where, you can do the recording sessions and things. But I do plan on releasing another album this year. So it's to be announced, and yeah, I can't wait to show you guys what I got cooking.
Okay, so let's go. Let's hear what you got cooking. Let's hear some of
Is
it.
there a sample you could play for us? It doesn't have to be from the album, but
Well, I would say one of the songs I would say that would be I guess like I would have to talk more with you about that, Mr. Baniak, about how to, get the thing moving with your song Butterfly, because I would also like to, bring that out to the public more.
Great. And
So that's one for sure.
okay, you wanna jam a little bit for us?
Sure. Now let me set up things on my end,
Okay.
and let's see how I do this. I go to share sound, go right here, make sure all my sound is good. Let me make sure everything is on the one. All right.
Is this a garage band? This is the garage
No.
band?
Oh, actually, what this is Logic. It's the latest Logic, and
Yeah, I had the same.
yep. Let's see. What am I feeling today? Guess I'm feel it out, shall we?
oh yeah,
All right. Let's see. I got some.
take it away.
Would you like some piano or Rhodes or something?
It's entirely up to you what you feel, really.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'll do some Rhodes.
All right.
Can you hear that?
Oh,
Yes.
All right. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Little something.
Really cool. I mean,
Ooh, thanks.
who were your favorite keyboard players when you were like?
Okay. Yeah, good answer. Good question.
Yeah.
I see. Well, one of my number one favorite keyboard players is Keith Emerson from Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he is definitely the one that definitely set the bar for me to want to take musicianship to another level, I would say. Definitely for sure on that one.
And as far as the composition or production, or you know,
Oh, well, it's interesting because the thing is, one of my favorite bands is Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And I just remember growing up listening to them, composition wise, I love what they did, and production wise also. Like everything about them was just awesome. I mean, the things that they did in the '70s was just amazing. Plus, at the time, learning about them, I didn't really have a lot of visuals growing up, seeing them do their thing. So I had to imagine like how Keith was just going at it. But then later on, like when technology started to come up where you could see videos like on YouTube, or I go out and buy like a VHS tape of their work and things like that, I can see them in action. And I was even more in awe of what Keith Emerson was doing. And another true story, April 2000 in Washington, D.C. at the Smithsonian Institute, Keyboard Meets Technology. I went to a meeting there, well, more like a seminar thing, where they had Keith Emerson there, and also Dr. Robert Moog, the creator of the Moog synthesizer, was there.
I happen to
And
know him too.
oh yeah, that's great. And they had Malcolm Sisu and Robert Margolith there as well. And I met Keith Emerson, and he was on stage at the time, and I'm just walking in, And when I saw him, it was just like, wow, that is him, you know. You know how what it is when you see your idol. So I walked up to him and I told him about how he inspired me, how he's my favorite, and I shook his hand and he signed an autograph to me. And you know, that was a very magical day. And I just been listening to him ever since. And also to today, which is March the 11th, is kind of like the anniversary of his transition as well. So, you know, rest in peace to Keith Emerson. You know, it's a trip. Just the amount of time of studying him. I remember days like back in school, like middle school, I would go in my room after doing homework and things like that, and I would just listen to him, you know, Emerson, Lake and Palmer constantly. Albums like Tarkus and Brain Solid Surgery. I was just listening to it like day in and day out, just trying to, you know, practice to what he was playing till I got it right. Yeah,
Definitely got a lot right.
right. So
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like yeah, yeah, it was so many times, and I have other, if you don't mind, I have like many other keyboardists that has like inspired me as well. So is that my dad?
I think it is.
Hey,
Welcome.
can you hear us?
I don't think the mic is on. I'll try to. No, it's just the camera. So I think you
Yeah.
can hear us. But
All right, you might want to turn your camera off and unmute yourself if you can hear us.
Yeah,
It
it's
should be on the lower side.
frightening view for us because we have snowing right now outside, you know.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's like -10 at the moment. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
Centigrade.
Right. I've definitely experienced something sort of that. There's a place out here like between Utah and Nevada. It's called Wendover, and I just remember being out there and I had to do like a weekly gig, and it was tremendously cold. And one night we came back, it was like -3. So I'm like, okay, I better get my tail inside. So I try to freeze out there. So I feel you when it cold. Yeah.
yeah, especially when you're not used to it. Like I was a few years in Spain, and then you go, you know, to Poland over this winter, and it's minus something, and it just freezes my brain.
Oh
So
yeah. Gotta stay warm out there. Layer up, double up, all that good stuff.
or you think about nice things like music and inspirations, and you know, and getting more into that. So
Mhm.
with this music stage, like you said about the artist that inspired you, like where are you planning to carry on? Is it like more people or someone or people that you want to try or artists that you would love to play with? Like, what is the future for you?
Well, the future for me is I definitely look forward into collaborating with many artists because I'm a producer, arranger, composer as well, and I like to work with artists that's in the like in the modern music of now, as far as like hip hop, pop, R&B, soul, country, rock, you name it. I would like to do that, you know, with those artists, and also I would like to do my work as well, as far as like pushing the envelope with music to um, have, you know, more of a feel of what's happening. And I would like to also definitely work with you, Mr. Vignac, so we could get this thing moving with some great music, great tunes. So I mean, I definitely look forward to the future being very bright, working with, you know, various artists and just, you know, carry on to build a music legacy and to go down in history as hopefully, you know, as one of the cats, one of the legends as well. And one other thing, I want to inspire the youth to carry on too.
Yeah, and to make I think, you know, the current hip hop and it became a little bit too simple and too commercial. Am I right? Like
Absolutely.
so simplified. I mean, it ain't that easy.
No, no, it's really not. I asked myself, uh, I asked a question to my fiance recently, and we were talking just about the state of and quality of music. And
Yeah.
I was just telling her, I was like, you know what? I feel like I've learned all this stuff for nothing. Like, what is the use for me when you could just go straight to like the computer and you can just pull up a sample and you could just program a beat and that is that. And this is nothing against any creative sources or any producers out there or anything like that, because it is what it is. And in every generation and years of time, there's always a new thing, something that we may have to get a little used to, because us older cats, I mean, or different generations, we might get like a little bad rap about when we talking about, oh, these kids today, you know what I mean? And it happens in every generation, but at the same time, I like to keep up with the times too. But as far as the quality and it being so simple, it's kind of like I have no room to really play like you know, much of like a minor 11th chord or anything like that, and doing something experimental with that, or even change up the time signature, because everything is 4/4,
Yeah.
because you want to make music to dance to and all that and everything. But I just want to make sure that I'm one of those producers and musicians that is the go-to and the one to set you straight with the music for sure. No matter what style it is or anything like that. Because one thing I'm about is playing all styles of music. Because I'm about touching the world musically.
That's the word fusion, where the word fusion came about.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, even the birth of jazz, it's also fusion of the Afro-European connection.
Right. Exactly.
So, what do you say about the blues in all that? Is, are you dividing blues from jazz or including?
Well, I included, because one thing I was talking to some of the DC musicians, and they were even saying, "Hey, man, you gotta know how to learn the blues in order to play jazz." They would tell me that because when you look at it from a sense of theory, as far as playing those blue notes, what you call it, knowing how to do that and not just only just playing the notes, but you gotta feel the notes. And this is something I was explaining the last time about feel. You know, I would, if I'm doing like a clinic or anything like that, I would let them know like the first thing you must learn before you really do music that really have a lot of things happen, or just in general, it's feel. You have to connect with the music, because if you don't connect with the music, it's just gonna sound very mechanicalized. I mean, in us as humans, we can understand and feel that whole vibe, if the vibe is connecting or if the vibe is not connecting. So I just think with blues is all feeling. I mean, if you think about it and go back to history, Black history. I mean, the things that us as a people went through. I mean, it's in our blood. I mean, we feel so much from all that has happened, and right now we're still evolving. So I just think when it comes down to the jazz, I mean, it's a like a sophisticated version, almost like a sophisticated version of the blues, but with more things happening to it as far as like the fusion of it all.
Yeah, I feel very similar.
Yeah, absolutely, because you got to feel it, and when you feel it,
And,
it'll other people feel it too.
yeah, and when I started the Urbanator band was very long time ago.
Hmm.
We called it jazz with an attitude.
Mm.
Basically that's what was Urbanator was all about. So he included rap, included some beats, samples,
Hmm.
and really like a bop playing.
Right,
It
right.
was
That's excellent.
1990 was the first recordings, half an album. You know.
All right. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to check out more of that this week. for sure. Definitely want to, do that. I'm definitely interested in doing that too, as far as fusing like the hip hop and the jazz, and even with the now hip hop. I'm just trying to figure that out. Like as far as like, okay, if you do trap or whatnot, how do you blend that in into what the simplicity is of music today, along with what we do,
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And I think that'd be an interesting thing to experiment and check out, along with the state of hip hop today and everything.
I would be looking forward to this. I think this music needs it. Needs some vaccinations. You know,
Yes, absolutely. I think, yeah, I think it's about time to, raise the vibration of music, in general, because once you do that, I mean, I just think the state of mind start to change, and because it's nothing like when you're hearing some great music, and even to go back, a lot of the music I listen to that's kind of my favorites is like it's from the '70s, because I just think like when I hear it, it's so much raw energy of great feel good, you know. And then I also like the technical side of it too, of how music was recorded back then. I mean, when you're recording analog,
yeah,
because analog and digital it's two different worlds. But I would say, as far as like analog, my experiences in analog, I think, made me a better musician.
uh-huh.
Because like with the tape, when the tape run out, you keep going over the tape. I mean, the quality is gonna go. So it's kind of like you gotta either hit it on a one or the two. You only have so many times, to play the parts correct. So when I was growing up and trying to record, I had a lot of trial and error to deal with it as far as that. And I think that's one of the things that made me a better musician, because at that time I didn't, have all the stuff at that time, like as far as technology. So I had worked with what I had, which, both my parents had provided and stuff. So, I just made the best of it. Gotta work with what you got. So,
Yeah,
and I practice and practice and practice.
yeah. We can hear that you practice in,
Well,
in playing
That's for sure.
rings around anything with such an ease. That's big comfort, and also so you can express yourself. You don't have to play much, but you have a spare means to do that, to do anything. So, would
oh
you
yeah.
like to play us something more?
Sure. Yeah, I'll change my settings to piano this time, and I'll get right into that.
And you, Michael, actually solved our problem, which we had before, about playing music over the Zoom, the live, which
Oh
is,
yeah.
yeah, sharing the sound with the screen. It sounded perfect. There was no interruption. Love it. So thanks for that too.
Oh yeah, very welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I was spending like hours trying to figure that out, because I'm like, okay, I wanted, to see if the quality is good. So yeah. Yeah.
It does work.
Let's see. What am I gonna play right now? All right. So I'm gonna mute my audio, and I'll A little freestyle there.
Great, great stuff, man.
Very
This is
great.
freestyle.
Crazy. You're crazy with your time changes. You're crazy.
Oh, thank you.
It,
Yeah, I like.
it
I
a
like
bit
to.
reminds me. I don't know, the McCoy Tyner mixed with Chick Corea and Lyle Mason, and of course you. Yes, it was like combination of everything, maybe everything.
Ah, thank you so much. Cyprian, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Well,
I thank you for playing because it was great to hear.
Oh, absolutely. Very welcome. I definitely, I love music, and one thing I wanted to say is that I'm inspired by some of the cats you were just talking about. The list is long, but anyway, I'll be brief. But the main ones I would say is from the progressive rock side of things is Keith Emerson from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tony Banks from Genesis, and from Yes, you got Tony Kaye, Rick Wakeman,
yes.
Patrick Moraz. As far as like jazz rock fusion, one composer and brilliant musician was Frank Zappa. Definitely a big inspiration of that. You know, cats like in the jazz fusion thing, we got Joseph Zawinul, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, George Duke, Hermeto Pascual. Let's see, Stu Goldberg. I mean, it's so many cats I've listened to. Even Kenny Kirkland, you know. Yeah, I mean, so many musicians, so many people I've listened to.
When I heard you, I remembered Kenny. You know, I met him when he was 17.
Mhm.
After accident, there's a little story about it, and he was on the drugs, not drugs. I mean medications, you know. But he was
Okay.
so, pain with cane, and you know. And I've heard him with the Latin band in Village Gate, and he didn't look like he was doing anything. He was sleeping, you know, but he was burning like a monster. And
Oh, nice.
he was in the band for 7 years.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Then Sting took most of the musicians from me.
And Michael Brecker. I remember the Michael Brecker took him for, I don't know, many records. Like
Then later
Steps
on,
Ahead and solo records. But Sting, yeah, of course.
I remember his constant telephone to me. Michael, I'm gonna record my first album. What do you think? Fusion or straight ahead? Fusion or straight ahead was his constant question, you know.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to you know, reiterate about the reason why I know about all this music is because of my mother and my father, especially my father. And I just want to, you know, say, you know, shout out to my parents. Well, my mother, she recently made a transition like six years ago. So, like, rest in peace. And since my dad is here, I must say thank you. You know, he's the reason why I know about you. You know what I'm saying? He's the reason why I know about you.
I say that he must be proud of you, Mr. Pollard.
Yeah.
Can you
So
say something about your son?
yeah, I think he has on mute right now. Can you unmute? You're not who it should be on like the left corner side. to unmute it.
No, we don't hear it.
Yeah, but one you mind if I tell a story about how I learned about you?
Yeah.
Okay, so my dad he was telling me about your LP, which is his favorite, is Fusion 3, which was released on a Columbia label and all that. Think it was I think you did it like released in '75.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fusion.
I got the
Fusion
first
record.
one. I got the first one.
Right. That's I love that record too. But Fusion 3, he played me two songs, Bloody Kishka
Bloody Kishka.
Yeah, and Cameo.
Yeah.
And I just remember listening to it, and it was much different than from other electric violin players I've heard over the years. And I was just like, wow, this is some different stuff. And I think on Bloody Kishka you had Jerry Brown on drums on
Yeah.
that session.
And
And
Thundercat on some songs, both of them.
right, exactly. Yeah, on Cameo. Cameo, I just remember listening to it. It was real smooth, and I just really loved the touch and the composition of how you just put it all together, and how you added the ensemble of musicians. I mean, you got Steve Gadd and you got Anthony Jackson. Oh my goodness, it's
Incredible
like
bass player.
yeah,
Incredible.
yeah, oh yeah, he's super incredible, and I'm just listening to how melodic it was, and just the chord changes and things like that. Because I definitely got to give you credit for inspiring me with those learning how to do like polychord bitonal
That's
chord
my,
changes.
that's my like hobby. I love searching for voicings and for combinations of those notes.
Yeah, and I remember another song off of Fusion 3, listening to Metroliner. Like
Uh-huh.
there's a vamp where it's like a all that stuff, and then you go with these other chord changes. You come right back into the one of the F chord there, and I'm just going like, man, how did you do that? So it's, very. I'm super impressed by just your work and how you just go for it, and also the first album, Fusion. What really caused the song that did like a fender bender in my mind was think Bohemian Harvest. The song that's in 916.
What's the name?
I think it's Bohemian
Yeah,
Harvest.
Bohemian Harvest, right? From
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, I could not catch the one for one because it's 916, and I didn't really know what 916 was then. And I'm just going like, wow, I'm taking on a wild ride on this one. And I was just loving how you was soloing. You was really getting into it, man. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. And as you were talking, we actually worked it out with Mr. Pollard, the mute thing, the microphone. So we could also hear from him how it was to have a young musician at home after giving all the inspiration. So
Yeah. Yep. I just, I like, working with technology and things like that, and how to learn how to fix things. So, because if you have any kind of troubleshooting when you're on a live set, it's always good, to be safe than sorry. And I was like, you know what? I learned about that. So let me make sure I figure this thing out.
that was perfect. And while you were talking with with Michał, we worked it
Uh,
out the whole mute microphone situation with your dad as well. So I think he can now say a few words about how it was to have you at home. So can we check out, Mr. Pollard? Is the microphone working with you?
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's my first time experiencing a Zoom, so
No
bear with me.
worries.
Oh, so you can hear me.
yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
And all
okay.
the people on Facebook too.
All
Yeah.
right.
So how was it to have a young musician at home?
Wait a minute. Well, it kind of started out with me playing my albums. Michael was 5 or 6, and I was always playing them. So, and my wife, his mom, said, Michael likes your music. I said, he does. I said, okay. So, but Michael never told me. He would just listen. So then as time went on, I just kept playing, he listening. Then he went to school, and he got in, mom's bought him a little Casio, some little keyboard, and what's this, Yamaha drum kit, something like that, something small. So Mike I said, wow, we got to get you something else. So in school, he started playing the piano with some teachers. As time went on, he just got good. I said, I better step this up. So my sister had a daughter with another Casio that she never played. She got it for Christmas. She never played it. So I asked my sister, what is Alexis doing with the piano? She said, nothing. I said, well, can Mike have it? Because he can play. So his aunt said, okay. So I got the piano, got Mike to play it. Mike just breezed through that. So I said, oh, I got to get you something else. So I surprised him. He just got better and better as time went on. I was right there with him every day. Come home from work. First thing I do, go in his room. So I got him what did I get you?
You got me a Yamaha PSR 270.
Yeah, and what was your reaction when I got it?
I was pretty damn stoked, to be honest with you.
It was a surprise, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. It was wow, yeah, I really was surprised about that one. And it's like right when it touched ground and you let me go for it, I just took off with it, just start composing songs almost every day, every night, just constant.
Yeah, you did with what makeshift equipment you had. I couldn't believe you did all that.
Oh yeah,
you can't. It's too much to tell, I guess, what you actually did.
Oh, I put in work.
No one would believe what you had and what you did. And there's still music here that you have in the boxes.
Right.
Some recordings that you got. But yeah, I got you something else after that. I had to get you another. What's the other one? The 88.
The 88 Yamaha. Let's see. I'm blanking out on the model, but that was the 88.
Yeah, and you had some contributions from Uncle Fred. Got
right,
you the Cord.
The Cord DSS-1 sampling synthesizer. It was Fred.
Right. Yeah, that thing was as heavy as I don't know what.
Like
oh yeah, that's
upgrading you all the way. Like you're good on this one, now you're gonna get another one, and up the level and all that.
Right.
That's brilliant. It's great to have a support from your parents, when getting into something you love, and they can be all the way with you. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I really thank my parents for that, and
Well, that's why you had to go to Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't go nowhere else but that. That's school.
Yeah. So, and just to let you guys know, I'm a graduate from Duke Ellington School of the Arts, which is a prestige school out of Washington D.C.
In D.C.
Yep, in Washington D.C. Yes.
Washington D.C.
Yep. So my experience there was great. I made the best of it. I mean, in the mornings you do your academics, and in the afternoon you do your arts. That's pretty much how it went down. Yep.
That's about it. So much more to this the whole music with Mychael. So much more. After Duke, he did some things.
So what did you
try flavor? Yeah, try flavor.
Yeah, I was. The Tri Flavor, which included members Chris Bacon, which is also a Grammy-nominated artist as well. He had worked on a project with a folk duo of a children's album, and that project he's working on was Grammy-nominated. Chris Bacon, also Solomon Slice D, and myself. We were a progressive hip-hop trio called Tri Flavor, and we were together for like a few years. And it was almost like we were like a miniature version, in a way, like if hip hop met like Gentle Giant in a sense. It was kind of like that, because they would rap and they would do rap in the way of the origins of hip hop, but I also would bring the flavor of fusion to the band by playing different instruments. And one of the instruments I brought to the band was the yadaki, also known as the didgeridoo, which is an Australian, Aboriginal instrument. Mm-hmm. And I would play a song on the didgeridoo, do the circular breathing and everything like that, and the crowd would just go nuts.
Amazing.
Original fusion with hip hop, with rap. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, and after that, I worked with more bands after in DC as well. And then I took off in 2012, and that's when I first came to the West. And I resided in Los Angeles at the time, and then I was going back and forth from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and I just been making my, I guess, westbounds here and there so far.
Anybody more questions here to?
I got question about
Oh.
your experience with the New York scene, with the new hip hop jazz stuff in New York, because I think it's very famous all around the world. Like this J Dilla beats, you know the thing about.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
And Jacob Collier making turning this shifts, I don't know, these J Dilla beats into a pop songs. Like I love Jacob Collier so much, and
oh yeah,
I can hear his influence by this New York scene. And what is your thoughts about this scene and your playing? Do you put this J Dilla stuff in your playing? Is it important when you play?
Well, there's a time and place for that, and I definitely, by the way, Jacob Collier, I definitely love his work. He's a brilliant, blazing spirit of music all around, I must say. I mean, the guy is just super talented across the board. I mean, what can he not do? So, but I also appreciate what he does with the works of Jay Dilla and things like that. And Jay Dilla is another favorite of mine as well. I mean, I would say myself and Christophe Bacon, we both really dig Jay Dilla's work, and we would listen to it constantly. So mixing it with what's happening, because one must know that even with Jay Dilla, I mean, Jay Dilla was crate digging, and his musicianship with how he utilized the Akai MPC, he really learned how to humanize it as if it was an instrument in itself. So instead of just sampling a bar, like 4 bars or 8 bars, what he would do is split up and mimic, it in different rhythms. And he'll turn out a sample to the point where you can't even recognize the song. Like, for an example, it was a story that Thundercat was telling in an interview years ago. It was Thundercat and Flying Lotus, and they met with Herbie Hancock. And they asked Herbie Hancock, "Hey man, you ever heard a song called Get This Money?" Get This Money is, I think, from like the Slum Village Fantastic Sessions. And so as Herbie was listening to Get This Money, he was like, he was just listening to it. But they asked him, "Hey man, you know what he sampled? You know what he sampled?" And he could not figure out that it was actually his sample. So the sample is "Come Running to Me" off of the Sunlight album. And he was just like,
album.
yeah,
77, I believe, 1977.
Yep, 1977. And that's another record my dad had bought in the house. And I would listen to it constantly. And I think he had got it in the summer too, because I just remember, warm days just listening to it and then running to the keyboard, trying to play what Herbie was playing. and just listening to the instrumentation of the album too, because that's when Herbie introduced the size of vocoder. And I just noticed the way he would just voice it, it almost sounded realistic, like he was really singing, but he was using the Sennheiser vocoder.
Yeah. Great vocoder, Sennheiser. It's no
right
around.
Right. So in conclusion to your question is that I'm definitely down for merging those things and definitely incorporate it in music and stuff. So I just think with music there are endless possibilities, and it's if you feel it, go for it, and that's what I'm doing. So I just hope it reaches out to
you are digging and searching, and that's That's the thing in music. Like Mars was searching, Coltrane was searching, and that's why they are the stars and the heroes like they are. Yeah, because
Right.
they were searching.
Right. Yeah. And when you search, you just never know what you may find. And and I like to really just go on for a musical adventure. And that's one thing I like to pronounce with my music is the adventure of it, because I like to go different places. I love doing that.
And you have so much music.
Right. And I have so much music to offer as well.
As we can hear it. By the way,
There's some support in the background, Michael.
Uh,
by the way, there is a chat message.
oh yeah.
If Michael, are there any artists that you would like to perform with Riot for the future? Have you worked with any artist well known to us? Lastly, can you freestyle another song before you go? That's
Absolutely.
Calera. So there was a questions and
Okay.
The first one was who you want to play in the future with,
Oh,
like a wish list. Is there a wish list?
well,
Michael
absolutely.
is on it. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Oh man, the list. Well, I would like to work with like the happening artists of the day, as far as like I'll be honest with you, like as far as doing production and things like that. We're looking at Cardi B, Drake, folks on that level of like the hip hop and things of that nature. And I also like to work in the jazz. I like to work with Herbie Hancock for sure, and wow, I would like to work with and also another cat, Mychael Pollard, which is musician, synthesist, keyboardist, and Mychael Pollard worked a lot with Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, extensively. So, and yeah, they mentioned that already too. So yeah, just it's a long list, for sure, and I definitely want to make sure I work with the people that's they got the things happening, because even though I love music so much, but another important thing is you got to make money too.
Mm.
You want to make sure financially stabilized and everything, and make sure that when you're dealing with this whole music business thing, that all logistics are together. Because we've heard many times the horror stories that comes with it, things like that when you sign contracts or whatever. So I just want to make sure that all in all, it's all good vibes and everything with whomever I work with, all that good stuff.
when I came to New York, I was told by one of the musician friends, the art is doing something out of nothing and getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah, not good.
Michael, it's not truth.
uh,
That was Miha's support from the background.
But
there is another story when Michael was Miha. I think we mentioned that once, but people were saying that there is a Polish jazz player and he's doing it for money.
That was story in New York.
That was way back.
He's in it for the money, exactly.
Yeah, he's in
it.
So, but now there's so much collaboration and fusioning between styles, and the mainstream music is taking in so much and getting inspired from all different genres. So I think it's much different now to actually compose and produce and actually do get paid for what you're doing. Also, are you making some scores for other than your songs, but for games or films or documentaries or things like that?
Yes, I am. I'm working on some things right now. And one inspiration of music that really got me started was video game music. I think I definitely talked with my dad about this when I was younger, about just how the music was very intricate and I couldn't even play it back. And so I was wondering, like, well, why can't I play this music back? Turns out, you know, with the composers of the video game scores, like for like Nintendo, Sega Genesis, I mean, they weren't really playing the music actually out. They had to program it with like this Family Tracker thing. And you have to program the notes and also do all the shortcuts on the keyboards, you know, punching in the notes. It's like half punching the notes and half playing the stuff out. It's like you kind of have a mind of composition, and you also got to know the technology how to do that. So that was the thing that was bugging the hell out of me. So, but I think by trying to do that, how they were doing that also made me better. But I really love video game music, and I love listening to like scores, you know, scoring and things like that. Because I also do arranging for strings, horns, and all that stuff. And you will hear some of that on the next release that's coming up, hopefully this year.
Great.
And what is your favorite game, or the game you would love to make the music to?
Ooh.
Tough one.
Yeah, it's so many. But one thing I want to touch on as far as like video game, as far as well, one is Super Mario Brothers. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I would definitely put a nice, you know, twist with that. And it's another game called Solstice. The composer was Tim Fallon, I believe an English composer. And I just remember my dad brought home that game, as a matter of fact. I never forget that day because I'm thinking, Solstice, what's this about? So right when I heard that music, I was like, what in the world? It just sounded like I saw like colors and bubbles through my ears. You know, it was on that level of like composition. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard nothing like this before. You know, so I got more addicted to the game because the music was just like intricate and sounded like just it was a really magical thing. So hearing that score of Solstice, a lot of Tim Fallon's, you know, inspiration also, you know, ran through me as far as learning how he played it, but it was programmed. But I just happened to learn how to play it out too, which was quite a feat. So yeah.
But the George Duke, Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah, recording that too. I did that years ago. George Duke, Mr. Freeze. That's one of those compositions by George Duke where he was really going for it, and playing it note from note, listening back and running it back and forth, and trying to play fast as him too. It was good. I mean, it was on the level like if you would listen to like Frank Zappa's Ichina's Arf, you know, that's another heck of a piece as well.
I think George Duke was playing on that tune, and with Frank Zappa. George Duke was playing with Frank Zappa many times.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
that
That's off
quote.
the Roxy, yeah, the Roxy and Elsewhere. In another
Right.
tune, yeah.
Eat That Question.
Oh yeah, off the Grand Wazoo. Yep. That's a tune I used to do live and stuff like that, and we always have fun playing and stuff. So yeah, I like to play all that. I'm all into that. You know.
Oh, what about the Larry Dunn?
Oh, Larry Dunn.
You know which
All
one.
right. Oh yeah. Okay. So the story about this, if you don't mind telling you, my dad long ago, he wanted me to listen to something, and it was off of the Earth, Wind and Fire, That's the Way of the World album, and it was after the song All About Love, and it was this. I heard a bunch of synths going and soloing, and I'm just listening to this, going like, man, this is beautiful. So I kept listening to it. I'm thinking, okay, and I actually did it over again, and this is on like tape. I mean, I don't have the tapes with me right now because that's all back at DC. And you can find it on YouTube, as a matter of fact, with just the All About Love outro. And
Oh, you want me to find it?
Sure. Yeah, it's on it's on Mychael Pollard channel, and it is, I think it's labeled All About Love, intro, outro. Yeah, I really that's another keyboardist, Larry Dunn, definitely an inspiration. I've definitely listened to a lot of his stuff, even the stuff that he had did with a band called Caldera, which had cats like Steve Talvagion and Eddie DeBarrio. I mean, those were some great albums that he did with them and stuff like that, like records like Sky Islands for one, which my dad put me on to. So listened to a lot of that then.
Right. Seems like your dad put you into a lot of in a lot of things, a lot of music. That's good. That's good. So, do you jam with your dad as well? Like when you meet and then you jam together? Or?
Yeah, we definitely talked extensively about that. We're definitely going to jam together, and I definitely look forward to that. So, and in fact,
different side of the coast.
Yeah, he's in the East Coast, and I'm in the West Coast. And one thing I'll say is both my parents were musically inclined. My mother, she would sing at times, and my dad, he's also a singer as well. He played trumpet,
drums in the background.
percussion. Yeah, he's a percussionist.
No more trumpet.
No more trumpet. Okay.
I had to make a decision, and I picked the percussions.
Perfect.
Right. So yeah, but definitely, like my dad's definitely the reason why, and my mother, they both collectively is the reason why I came out the way I did. Even though I may not have had like the most top gear of gears, but I worked with what I had. And if you don't mind, I'll tell a quick story. My mother got me this two-way sound system. And what happened is, in long story short, I figured out how to turn it into a multi-track system.
Nice. Where is the will, there is, where is the need, there is a will. And tools are tools. You can play, people play on the pot and they make the most amazing stuff. It doesn't matter about the tools, what I find. It's just the talent. And the talent, you've got plenty. So it's completely different, And also, there was a question from Carletta. I'm trying to, if I'm pronouncing.
Yeah, Carletta Allen. Yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah. All right. Nice shout out. To so lastly, you played with Jets. She in her questions asked him about like a no name. So the Jets are the first that I can think of, but there are a few other people also on the video about you. So how was working with Jets?
Working with the Jets is a wonderful experience. I mean, I must say, it's their family, and they're family oriented, and they are as one. They really unify with each other and things like that. And I really love working with them, and it's an honor to work with them. And every time we get on stage, it's always like it's constant movement. Like we would dance, we sing, and also for me, instead of just standing there playing the keys, I gotta dance too. I'm dancing, playing the keys, just going for it. So it's a very high energy show, where you dancing and you singing, you doing the parts and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's definitely one of those things where it's full of enjoyment, excitement, and also they're a beautiful family.
So the bit in the video where you have your leg on the piano, is it from Jets when you're playing it, or another gig?
Well, that was from another gig.
Right.
That moment when I did that, if I remember correctly, we were doing like this gospel rock soul kind of jam, and something just came over me where I just did that, and I just tried it out because one thing that I've learned from like cats like Keith Emerson, if you see some of Keith Emerson's like videos where he was with Emerson Lake and Palmer, I mean he would stab his Hammond organ with like daggers and things like that, and he'll ride his organ, you know, all that kind of stuff. And he'll play it backwards, flip it over, and so I just kind of did some kind of rock and rollish that night, you know. and another thing, what I did is I was playing it with the heel of my foot. Like I was trying to play notes with the heel of my foot, kind of like the technique that you do when you're playing an organ, when you're playing the bass with your feet, kind of like that. So I was just getting creative with it.
Surely it was.
So what do you like to us to play? Jets or All About Love cover version?
Actually, the All About Love cover version.
Okay. I have it here. Hold on. Sure. Here we go.
And the screen shift is perfect.
You're quite inspiring, man. You see,
Thank you.
you're talking about your inspiration. You are inspiring us
Oh, thank
to
you.
move
Thank
our bats and to keep doing it and going for it.
you.
I really
Yes.
dig it. This
Yeah.
I wasn't remembering this song All About Love, but I was listening to this record, yes, by Earth, Wind and Fire. That's the way of the word. But
Mhm.
when I hear this like motif only, this yes, I remember that. Like I got 2 records by Earth, Wind and Fire. That's one of them.
Oh, I
But
am. Yeah.
I don't get. That's my favorite one. But
Yeah, that's a
that's the
great
way of the
record.
word. It's also great, but
Yeah.
and I was listening to this on Spotify. I don't know, 5 or 6 times maybe,
Hmm.
and I don't remember the title All About Love, but I hear that little and I just have to know that's it. And
Hmm.
yes, so
Yeah.
you remind me that song and
Oh,
that
yeah.
album. I
Yeah. It's a lot of great tunes on that record. You know, including Shining Star. And one thing about that, it's a very special kind of interlude. I mean, it's definitely something that it's not an easy one, but yeah, I definitely love that. And I just remember my dad played it. I was just moved ever since then, and still being moved. And I actually recorded that about 10 years ago. So yeah, I mean, I still look forward into doing music more on that level and beyond.
any more questions for our creator here, Mychael Pollard?
There was.
in terms of Herbie Hancock.
All right.
In terms of Herbie Hancock, what is your favorite record by Herbie?
Oh.
Mm.
No.
Now
The
I
one you
see
did.
2 Pollards speaking about it.
Right. Yeah. So, oh wow.
Mike, what is the one that you did? You just did last month. What, 2 months ago?
Um, I did a Herbie tune.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, well, I like
Which one was it?
I like Thrust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a
like
great
Oh,
record, 74.
what's
and
the
and
one that you
uh,
did? You did it on you recorded it
mm,
visual and audio. You just
um
did it a month ago, or was that 2 months ago?
I
What's the
don't
name
remember
of
if I.
that? It wasn't palm grease, was it? No.
No. No, I didn't do that. So what happened is I think there's a video online of me playing a snippet of Butterfly.
Not that one. The
Is
fast
not that
one.
one?
Yeah. Dum,
Oh,
dum,
it's not
dum,
one?
dum, 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 boom, 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 dum, 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 dum. That one.
Oh, yeah, actual proof. Okay,
Actual
all right.
proof.
Yeah, I did. Okay, wow, yeah, I did that. Actual proof. Yeah. Oh man, I actually I enjoyed recording that and that video. The way I did it, that was all live. Like, but the drums and the bass that was pre recorded. But the playing of me improvising and playing it out, that was all live. And you could even see it in the back screen of it in the red, where I'm like, rolling it.
Do you still have it programmed in your Logic?
Uh, that wasn't. I didn't record it in Logic. I would say I'll be honest with you. That was recorded in GarageBand,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I don't think I have access to that right now.
Okay.
So
No worries, don't
yeah,
worry.
sorry, sorry. I don't
No,
have
but it's
access
on
to
the
that.
video, so we can see it, at least the snippet, at least a bit. So no worries.
Yeah. So yep,
So
that's
would that be your favorite then, answering Cyprian's question?
The Frost,
um,
yeah.
it
That's your favorite,
yeah,
Frost.
that's one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorites though. And but one favorite of the version of Actual Proof is actually off the album that they just I think nationalized, like released to the US. Is called Flood. The
Yeah,
reason
the
why,
live album.
yeah, the
Live
live
album.
album Flood, live in Japan, I believe. And the thing is I like the Actual Proof on Thrust, but when I heard the live Flood version, I was just like my jaw was on the floor after I heard it because I'm like, man, he is killing it on the piano, and I'm like, okay, I gotta test drive this. So I practiced, I listened, and I said, okay, I think I can, and it's just playing, and it was like I was holding on, like, okay, all right, I'm gonna keep going. But at the same time, one thing I must say is that while playing that tune, I had to like really listen to what's going on because it changes quite a bit. And then you go back to that dun 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 dun, dun, that motif of it, and then you have to just like build and build and build, and that's basically what I was doing with that. Learning how to solo to that. I mean, I was soloing to that for like a few days just to, to get a comfortable feel of it.
So how, roughly on the time when you learn, like you're trying to basically find out what the music is, how long or the most time took you to like break the song and basically learn it so you can play it out of your heart? What was
Just like
the most difficult one that you were trying, like hammer it, break it down?
oh,
Or was it like the one that you remember that was tough? So
uh, well, recently, I'll be honest with you, because Michael Bennett's Butterfly, I would say that had uh kind of a challenge to it as well. And I say that because it was some parts in it I had to re-listen to, and I had to like certain chords and things I had to like relocate and really listen to it because I wanted to make sure it was perfect. I mean, if you touching on a cover song on someone's song, you got to make sure you nail it and you get it right. I mean, that's just for me, speaking for me. So, but listening to it, it was just the melody, I think, is what got me a little bit, and along with the chord voicings and trying to arrange it from going to 9/8 groove and then you change it and go to 7/8.
Yeah.
I had to format that, and that was had a little challenge to it. But one thing I must say, as far as challenging tunes, is Keith Emerson Lake and Palmer's Tarkus. That is
It's a 20-minute song, so yeah, it's a bit hard.
man, but to play that live, I mean, I gotta. It'll take me probably, I'll say, I'll be honest, about at least a month to make sure it's perfect. But to play like Tarkus from beginning to end, Eruption. But a favorite of mine that I like to jam to is Manticore. Manticore is, it's kind of got his little things to it. I might, like if I'm warming up or whatever, I might play a little bit of Manticore. But it's still got its challenges to it.
I have a little short story about Butterfly in Columbia Records. I brought
Alright.
this song to A&R man, and he says, look, why do you put so many songs in one? I mean, they start and groove and keep going on, and then the next one, and you keep changing and changing. And with my broken English, I didn't speak much English. I said, you get more for the money.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So
True story.
that's it. I think I'm coming back to the last part of the question about, the one that you said your sister, yeah?
Yeah.
She
Carla,
asked,
yes.
she asked, and we cannot resist to hear another jam to close, right?
Absolutely. This is what I was about to
Close
say.
our great reading and looking forward to anything and to stay in touch. And we are planning master classes, webinars down the line. So we'll be seeing each other here or there or anywhere.
Right.
Offline, in person.
Right,
sooner
yeah.
or
In
later.
the fall, we go back because we are doing it for 14 years. Like UrbanatorDays workshops and concert, like a 2-day meeting with everybody, and then concert with jam on the end with attendants who come.
Cool. I would love to do that. I definitely look forward to that. Yeah. I appreciate that. Thanks in advance. I look forward to working with you guys with that.
All right. So
Don't keep us waiting, Michael. Don't keep us waiting. Play another one if you can.
Play something? My bad.
If you
My bad. I'm
could.
sorry.
Well, just to answer your sister question, man.
Aletta is waiting.
I'm joking. We, dying to hear another one.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna play something. Let's see. What I got here? Oh, I gotta do one other thing. Give me a second.
Ooh.
Could you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I need to turn it down. So I'm sorry. Hold on. That was
Yeah,
kind of
you
overkill. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was overkill.
No worries.
All right. Let's see. You know what? I'm thinking about playing something smooth. I'm gonna just play some smooth. Let's see. Okay.
All right.
That was
Yeah,
nice.
I was trying to play Let's Chill by Guy, by the way. Trying to remember in my head. It's a cool song. Uh, A flat major. Yeah.
And you've got a lot of love on Facebook for that one.
All right.
And from
Yeah.
Hey,
us,
Mike,
absolutely brilliant.
Hmm?
Mike,
Yes.
there's something we forgot. We
Oh,
forgot
what's that?
about Dave Klein.
Right.
Dave Klein. That was before Tri Flavor.
You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about
Gentleman
that.
to Dave Klein.
Right. Right. Exactly.
You know why?
Right. Right. Yeah.
The
So the story.
violin.
Yeah. Dave Klein, excellent violinist. Definitely reminds me of you, Mr. Maniac, and he's definitely one I've worked with in like early 2000s. Basically, we were playing like world fusion, global fusion music, and the way I met Dave Klein was through a drummer by the name of Terrence Arnett, which whom I went to school with at Duke Ellington School of the Arts, and so that's how we kind of all got connected.
Mm.
So yeah, that's where I kind of got like most of the live experiences in the early days too. So my apologies on that because a lot has happened. So I'm trying to remember everything in in
Gotta
order
get him in
and
there.
stuff. So but yeah, but good. Thanks for that.
You got the boss here who remembers everything. Your father.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
He's
you've got a
definitely
manager right there.
yeah, he's been there. Yeah, I would say definitely for sure.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant. And also, this evening is about meeting the artist and finding the story, and really in a relaxed, cool way. Nothing official, but people are watching. And I think this is what digital brought us: is that we can be more closer to each other in meetings like that, and find out so much about the talent. And I'm absolutely amazed for today's evening, and being able to hear your story, and meeting your dad as well. All
Yeah.
this inspiration that we had tonight. So just
Yes.
and as the meeting is sort of coming to the end, I just wanted to say, if there is, I'll ask if there is anyone with last questions or anything like that before we wrap up. Everyone's like, they still, tuned out with with and still thinking about the song you played. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
no, no.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Absolutely loved it. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm sure with what Michał is planning for coming months, and all the things that he wants to do, and show you they're included, and we can, collaborate together.
Theoretically, every Thursday, similar time. If you have time, look for it. We might be bringing some more interesting people, maybe some even collaborators. Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
All right. We
Definitely.
have to
Okay.
Michał is
figure
here
out
to surprise, that's
how
for
to
sure.
use the logic to play together here. This would be fantastic to overdub or to play solo to do something more.
Hmm. Yeah. The
Because
only thing with that is we just have to make sure that the low latency is leveled right.
so internet has got to be not Wi-Fi. I know that for sure
Hmm.
already because I we are working on it.
Hmm. Right. Right. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
got to be wired direct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I definitely look forward, to
Okay.
when that
We are
happens.
looking forward to. So thanks everybody. Thanks Stan.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate us every
Michael,
time to be
Michael
here.
Pollard.
Michael, love to meet you in
We'll be seeing
person.
you and seeing you
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Right?
Likewise. And
Okay.
and also, I just want to say, thank you, Stan. Thank you, Stan. And
Yeah.
also, much thanks to you, Mr. Baniak. I appreciate. It's an honor to you have taken the time, to make this happen. And thanks to everyone for tuning in as well. I appreciate it.
I
Thank you,
sure appreciate
everybody.
too, man.
Thank you, Mr. Al Pollard.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for joining and for being fun for a long time, as I learned. You know,
Absolutely.
of great music. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks Dad for him. He came up brilliant as a perfect musician. Guys, thank you so much for tonight. I'm looking forward as always to meet you soon on another Meet the Artist. Have a
Right on.
lovely evening, rest of the day for some, and hope to see you soon.
All
Take
right.
care, everyone.
Have a
All right,
great
take
day.
care.
Thank you.